Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. I hope you and your families are fine and taking care of your health by strictly following the instructions given by the doctors and the government, that is washing your hands frequently, covering your face while you sneeze or cough, social distancing and avoiding junk food. Besides these all, learning mathematics is also very good for your health. So, let's learn some mathematics starting with the factorization. And regarding factorization, today we will learn rational root theorem. To learn the factorization of cubic polynomials using rational root theorem. If you remember, what are the cubic polynomials? In which the exponent of the variable is 3, that is x cubed or y cubed. Okay, before starting this rational root theorem, let's revise some methods of factorization which we have already done. First method of factorization is by taking common. It is applied on every type of the polynomial. Second method is whole squares. We look for the whole squares. Expanded form is given. We close it to make it a whole square. Then we have completing the square, in which we add or subtract some term to make it a whole square. Then sometimes we apply algebraic identities of cubic or squares. Then we have midterm breaking, in which we break the middle term and then take common to factorize this. And then rational root theorem. Basically, it is expansion, or you can say the application of remainder and factor theorem. Okay, let me explain this theorem by solving question number 1 of exercise 5.4. Okay, we have a polynomial, and you remember polynomial is always denoted by capital P, and x means polynomial in terms of x. We have a cubic polynomial x cubed minus 2x square minus x plus 2. This is a cubic polynomial, and how can we apply the rational root theorem? Rational root theorem means we take small p. Small p is all the possible factors of this constant. This constant, what is the value of this constant? 2. And what are the possible factors of 2? That is, 1 and plus minus 2. 1 and 2 are the only factors of 2, this constant 2. But we take plus and minus, plus and minus. And then small q. Small q means all the possible factors of the coefficient of x cube. What is the coefficient of x cube? 1. And what are the possible factors of 1? That is only 1, but with plus and minus sign. Now this theorem states that if we divide this p by this q, means all these numbers by this number, and when we put these numbers in the place of x to get the remainder, and then we can decide whether it is a factor or not. For example, p over q means plus 1. When plus 1 is divided by plus 1, what we get? Again plus 1, plus and minus 1. Similarly, when plus minus 2 is divided by plus minus 1, what we get? Plus minus 2. So collectively these are 4 values: plus 1, minus 1, plus 2, minus 2. We will put these values in this polynomial turn by turn, and then we will see whether the remainder is 0 or not. So when value of x is plus 1, it means we put this one in the place of all the x's in the polynomial, what we get. Okay, so if you remember the remainder theorem, what does it say? That when a polynomial is divided by a linear polynomial and same value is put in the place of x, the answer is the remainder. So what is the remainder? 1 minus 2 minus 1 plus 2. What is the remainder? 0. It means x plus 1 is the factor, and when we write it in the term of the factor, we change the sign, x minus 1. So x is equal to 1 means x minus 1 is the factor. So we get one factor. Remember one thing, when we have cubic polynomials, we always need minimum 3 possible factors. So x minus 1 is our first answer. Now, when we put x is equal to minus 1, means p minus 1 is equal to minus 1 cube minus 2 into minus 1 square minus 1 and plus 2. Let's see what is the remainder. Okay, now remainder is, if we calculate, it is equal to 0. It means x is minus 1 is also a factor, means when we change the sign it becomes x plus 1. So one factor is x minus 1 and other factor is x plus 1. Now let's see what is our third factor. Okay, now we will put x is equal to plus 2. So P2 is equal to 2 cube minus 2 into 2 square minus 2 and plus 2. X is equal to plus 2. Let's see what we get. It is 8. It is 8 minus 2 plus 2. So once again the remainder is 0. It means x plus 2 is also a factor, and changing the sign what we get, x minus 2. So it is our third factor. As soon as we get 3 factors, we leave this procedure and our answer is x minus 1, x plus 1 and x minus 2. These are 3 factors of this polynomial, cubic polynomial. Because it is a cubic polynomial, so the factors should be 3. And how we write our answer? Factors of polynomial p of x is x minus 1, x plus 1 and x plus 2. These are 3 factors of this polynomial. And if you remember the remainder theorem, when we put x minus 1 is equal to 0, x is equal to plus 1. So using this formula, when it is divided by x is equal to plus 1, remainder is 0, so x minus 1. When it is divided by x is equal to minus 1, it is written x plus 1. And when it is divided by x is equal to 2, means x plus 2, x minus 2. So these are 3 factors of the cubic polynomial p of x. Is that clear? I hope you understand the rational root theorem. Let's revise it. First we take small t, that is all the possible factors of this constant, the constant which is given in the end. We take all the possible factors of this number and it is written as t. Then we take the coefficient of this x cube and we take all the possible factors of that number, it is equal to q. Then we divide t by q and we get the values, and when we change the sign of these values we get the remainder, we get the factors.